Hey guys, what's happening and welcome back to Bluff Central for another video. In today's video, we're going to look at evidences and instances of Amber being abusive to those around her. But before that, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Alright, here we go. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have been making headlines for years now since they first went to court, and the world is still conflicted on who the guilty one of the two is. However, people have been quickly changing sides due to many new pieces of evidence coming out. One of the many reasons people are finding it hard to believe Amber Heard's claims is that Johnny Depp has no history of domestic violence at all. Johnny Depp's exes, Winona and Vanessa, who were in long-term relationships with him, have defended him, sharing they have never known Johnny to be violent against them or anyone for that matter. Amber, on the other hand, has had her fair share of abuse claims being directed towards her from people in her circle. In today's video, we're going to look at all the times Amber has been seen or accused of violence and abuse. Heard has a history of not only being rude during interviews, but also being abusive to people around her, including her own sister, Whitney Henriquez, ex-girlfriend Tayshia Van Ree, and even her former assistant, Kate James. First of all, let's talk about Amber Heard's former assistant, Kate James. Her former assistant has gone on record accusing her of being both verbally and mentally abusive towards her after drinking and taking drugs. This made working for her between 2012 and 2015 a living nightmare. James claimed that the abuse was so severe that it left her emaciated with stress and permanently scarred. This is what Kate had to say. Amber was regularly verbally and mentally abusive and would often scream at me in that way over the smallest of things. She would often fly into blind rages when no one could reason with her, and even if I was trying to offer her an explanation, I didn't think that she could hear me as she was so angry. It was like she thought regular things that can go wrong in any person's life on any given day didn't apply to her. Everything that went wrong was always my fault. I remember one occasion where she missed a connection on a flight on or around Christmas Day in 2012. My aunt was visiting from Australia at that time. She was screaming abuse at me for literally hours as though I had made it snow and caused disruptions to the flight. According to The Blast, Kate James believes that the reason behind Amber's abusive ways was that she regularly took hallucinogenic drugs. Kate also shared the assortment of drugs, and a great deal of wine would mean that when I woke up in the morning, there would almost always be a barrage of incoherent abuse sent to me from Amber by text between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. I discovered later that she had gone ahead and deleted all evidence of abusive texts from that iCloud account. She also shared that her friends and family were already worried about her while working for Amber Heard, as it was affecting her both mentally and physically. Contrary to what she said about Amber Heard, Kate had only good things to say about Johnny Depp. Here's what she said about him. In contrast, Johnny was calm and quite shy in all of my experiences with him. He was always thoughtful and kind. I remember on more than one occasion where I had to bring my son back to work with me after picking him up from school. Johnny would be there and would hang out with him, teaching him how to play the guitar. He would be patient and kind with him. I would never have left my son with Johnny while I was working if I had any concerns about him whatsoever. Aside from her employees, it's said that Amber is also abusive towards her sister, Whitney Henriquez. Johnny Depp's lawyers highlighted Amber's abusive tendencies by sharing previously unseen TV footage that shows her sister having a bruise from one of Amber's attacks and her friends urging her to report Amber. In the video, Whitney refuses to talk to her friends about Amber's abusive tendencies towards her. Johnny Depp's barrister, Mr. David Sherburne, told the court that a confidential source had given them that clip. Eleanor, representing Depp, questioned Whitney about the video during a recent trial between Johnny Depp and the Sun. Whitney completely denied the video, which proved that Amber physically attacked her, but admitted that they did have a verbal argument. Understandably, Whitney would defend Amber since they're sisters and she wants to protect her family. However, despite all this effort, the truth has eventually come out after Jennifer Howell, who is Whitney's former employer at the charity, The Art of Elysium wrote a letter in which she confesses everything that Whitney told her concerning Amber and Deb, and in the letter, she also urges Whitney to tell the truth to be set free from her abusive sister. The heartfelt letter completely contradicts all the statements and evidence produced against Johnny in court. One of the incidents covered in that letter is a fight that occurred in 2015 between Amber and Deb. When Whitney tried to intervene, she was nearly pushed down the stairs. Jennifer went on to say that Whitney had told her that she was scared Amber was going to kill Johnny. Amber also got into trouble back in 2009 for allegedly hurting her then-girlfriend Tassia Van Ree. Authorities at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington stated that Amber was arrested on the 14th of September 2009 by the Port of Seattle Police. This was according to SeaTac spokesman Perry Cooper. Amber allegedly grabbed and struck Van Ree's arm. Perry went on to share that Amber ended up being nicked for misdemeanor assault and fourth-degree violence. Amber Heard was arrested and her mugshot taken. Her case was assigned a number and she appeared in King County District Court the next day. The prosecutors decided to drop the charges against her on that day. Perry Cooper went ahead to add that in November of 2011, the police received a request to delete the arrest information on the case, and it was indeed deleted from the system since that was allowed in Washington state. When this was brought to light, Tassia Van Ree came to Amber's defense and said that this was a situation that was misunderstood and blown out of proportion. This is what she said exactly. I recall hints of misogynistic attitude towards us, which later appeared to be homophobic when they found out we were domestic partners and not just friends. It's disheartening that Amber's integrity and story are being questioned yet again. Amber is a brilliant, honest, and beautiful woman, and I have the utmost respect for her. We share 5 wonderful years together and remain close to this day. Aside from Amber being abusive to these women in their circle, there have also emerged clips of her being rude and temperamental in interviews and certain situations. Well, we don't know about you guys, but if these allegations are anything to go by, then Amber Heard is the guilty party in this case. However, these are just some of the people who have come to testify in this court case, and I believe as the case continues, more people will show up and hopefully justice will be served so that both Johnny and Amber can close this chapter of their lives. And that's all we've got for you guys today. In the next video, we'll show you Jennifer Howell's letter to Whitney Heard, so stay tuned. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and share this video with your friends and loved ones to spread the word of justice all around. Ciao now!